Episode 7 is here. We have a giveaway today. We have a very special guest. Guest number 2, former Eagle, current West Perth midfielder. He has played at West Coast. He has played at the West Perth Falcons. He's playing at the West Perth Falcons. He's played at the Scarborough Football Club. His name is Connor West. He's going to join us very soon. It's been a huge week in sports news. The World Cup. We've got we're down to 3 teams at that time of recording. We've also had a huge week in football news. As I say, a very good afternoon. Hello, good morning. Doesn't matter what time it is. Hello, Aaron Black.
Hello, Jimmy. How good. We're back.
We're back.
I'm covered in West Coast Falcons scarves. We got some Unleashed apparel on the dome.
We're going to do the giveaway at the very end of the episode, and we are going to share a moment with someone very special to us. His name is Connor West. 28 games at the West Coast Eagles. He was taken in the mid-season draft a few years ago. He's an outstanding human being who we love very much, and he's got a great story to tell. Yeah,
I think the people who choose to listen are going to absolutely love hearing Westy's story, and he's a bit of a different unit, and you will experience that over the next hour or so.
A different unit? That's a bit rough.
In a good way, not a bad way, in a good way.
Yep.
You'll hear some stories, and they'll get why.
We'll let the people decide. That's why.
Well,
I
was just giving him the heads up.
Gone on this venture together.
I was giving him the heads up. Okay?
Hey, well, we will get to the Gold Coast mess in a second. We'll park that. We'll get to it in a little bit, and we'll give our tips for the upcoming round. 100 games for my favourite player, Nasiah Wanganeen-Miller, this week. Can't wait to see how he goes against Geelong in his Centurion game. But I want to ask you about Fremantle. We have to speak about Fremantle. We simply have to speak about Fremantle because they're going to win this week, and they're going to win by a long way because Port Adelaide are decimated with injury. But the question I have for you, Blackie, Hayden Young off an injury. Should Hayden Young travel this week and play for Fremantle, or do they take extra care with their star utility who can play midfield, he can play back, or do they just say, hey, go for it?
You know what he can do? He can get on the plane, he can travel. He can have a few extra lattes in the morning or
smooth brews,
and he can sit in the box and do some coaching. Because you might as well give him 3 weeks. They're going to play finals. They're going to be important. He's going to be important come finals time. And every time he comes back, he plays for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks and he gets hurt.
So if you're Justin Longmuir, I know you're not, you're Aaron Black, but if you're Justin Longmuir and you're the coach and he's fit, Blackie, would he play this week?
Justin, don't play him.
Until
I'm me, you're you.
When?
Don't play him.
When though?
Build him longer. Give him some time. Do all your high speed running. Do all your extra exercises, your activation stuff. I don't know. Play him for Freo. You've got 5 on the bench now when the time is right, and play him for 50 minutes, 60 minutes.
So just build him up is your suggestion.
Yep. Because they do not have to worry about not playing finals footy. They're not fighting for a berth. They're probably going to have a home final. Unless they lose every game from here, which is very unlikely the way they're playing.
That's my next question to you. Fremantle are going to win it, aren't they?
Yes, I think so. I think they are.
Were you watching the second half against Sydney?
I watched the whole game. I really, really enjoy watching Freo play.
So I was at a Stitch in Time's brand new, they rebranded their logo. Greg High, a great man, friend of the show. They've done an amazing job. But I didn't see the first half, but I did see the second half. And,
mate,
Blackie, I think this team are going to be awfully hard to stop. If they get a home qualifying final and they win that and they get a home prelim,
I mean,
I'm not sure if anybody's going to be able to beat them.
No, and neither am I. They don't have the easiest run home. They play the Dogs, who are 7th, Melbourne, who are 6th, Adelaide, who are 5th, after the Derby, I think, next week. So it's not the easiest run home, but they do have a couple of easy ones coming up. So they're going to go well. I think that they are every chance doing it. They've got the recipe right. They still don't have arguably, their most attacking midfielder playing, Hayden Young, when he's at his best. He could be their best player, arguably. So I'd be surprised if they lose it. But it also wouldn't surprise me if if they lose it because you're only playing one game, Jim.
It's tough. They're knockout
hard to win.
The 50-50 games are anything can happen. We saw it in the World Cup this week. France were tournament favourites. They lost to Spain. The kid I want to speak about, we have to speak about him. I love this kid. And I hate saying this, but if we were in Melbourne, I know we're not in Melbourne, we're in Perth, and I hate that argument, but people would be losing their minds over Murphy Reid if he was playing for a Melbourne-based club. And I hate that argument. I understand. I sound like a hypocrite. I get it. We're watching something special. He's an all-Australian lock.
Yep.
He is.
Do you want me to expand on anything that you just said? Because I don't disagree with you at all. I think
what
that's
makes
true,
him so special?
I think that's why some players do like being in WA because there's less of a light shine down on you, and you can just get about your business and play some seriously good footy. What makes him what he is? Time slows down when he's got the ball in his hands. Some players have this real talent and real ability to be able to do that, which he does really well. But he's an elite ball user and decision maker. The only other guy, like that at his size is probably Nick. And Nick Dacos has got him by speed, by a long way. But I think, leap by hand, leap by foot, good decision maker, and he's got good goal sense, kicks goals, can play inside, outside, and forward. That's a recipe for a really, really good footballer, but you've just got to be able to make it work. And I think he added the accumulation of possessions and getting the footy this year, which he didn't necessarily have the opportunity to do last year.
I hope he stays in purple for 15 or 16 or even longer. He is a very special talent. I love watching him play.
Yeah, I do. He's not my favourite player to watch, but he's very good to watch.
I miss calling him.
We know who my favourite player is to watch, mate.
I hope I get to call him again shortly. He's a very special player. Is Murphy Reid. The other thing that I simply have to talk to you about, because it's been covered on every football media show so far this week, is I call it a glitch. I commented on TikTok that it was a glitch from the umpire that paid a 50-metre penalty toward Jack Ginnivan and against Carlton. I've never seen anything like this. What did you make of it? And at AFL level, at WAFL level, have you ever seen an umpire accidentally? Because he's just had a brain fade here. The umpire, no one's perfect. Let's get that out the way.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. Well,
no, I'm kidding.
But he's just had a brain fade. He's paid 50. He's called play on. He's got his arms waving. What was your reaction when you saw this?
I think it's a little bit. It's frustrating. Obviously, Jack Ginnivan's just licking his lips because he's got a new beauty. But I mean, I wouldn't say that has happened often or if at all. But I think the thing that stands out for me is both players and officials have to have a bit of humility in when things happen, owning it and changing it. Like, I'm sure it would have been okay for the umpire to go, hold on, because they do that regularly too, blow his whistle and go, nah, it's not 50, I've called play on, the mark's here, we're just going to reset you.
That's what Ray Chamberlain said he should have done.
Correct, thank you. Well done, Razor. But I'd have no issue with that because I like to think I'm pretty clued on with the rules and things that happen. And I don't think I'll get in trouble for saying, because I won't go into too much detail, but I've called some umpires out in a nice way in my old age. I used to be quite grumpy and aggressive, and called them out on a rule that they've missed, and they go, "Oh, yeah, well, you're right," and I'm like, "Well, you can change,
or can you pay it next time?"
Correct, but you can't say, I don't know, the umpire calls the ball's rolled out of bounds, it's last touch, but it was punched out of bounds, and then they let the game play on, and you kind of go, well, mate, he was punched out, and he goes, oh, actually it was, and you go, well, you've just cost us a goal because they've scored. That you can. My point of that is you can change it. He could have quite easily just stopped the game and gone, mate, hold on, I've made a mistake, I made a blue. Mark's here, kick it again.
He glitched.
Correct. It's just dumb. You can't go play on then it's 50.
He made a mistake. Silly, he glitched. Question without notice.
Have humility, Jim, and own the fact that you stuffed it up and go back and reset him.
Question without notice. Have you ever seen an umpire change his mind? or her mind while you've been playing?
If my pause is anything to go by, no, I don't think
haven't.
so. I mean, maybe somewhere along the line, but
the reason I bring this up is because I've only ever seen an umpire change their mind once, and it was watching my brothers play. Down at no, they were a bit older than that. They're a bit older than that. But it's a funny story that we bring up at the old family barbecue every now and again. That my brother was playing, and one of the opposition players handballed the football, like a Nathan Buckley style, good 17, 18 metre handball. And it wasn't Buckley, whoever it was. And the umpire, whoever it was, blows the whistle and says, and pays the mark.
Pays the mark.
And my brother, who is a hothead at the best of times, and he won't mind me saying that, could say many other things, he said, well, I'm not going to repeat exactly what he said, but he said he handballed it. And the umpire said, yeah, you're right. He actually did. Blew the whistle, took the footy back and said, no, I'll ball it up, thanks. It's not a mark. It was a handball. It wasn't a kick. So that's the only time I've ever seen it, and it stuck with me. Yeah. I'm going back to when I was a little kid, so a really long time ago.
With a bad one with one like that,
it's just a mistake. It's just a brain fade.
I think you do see him sometimes go, actually, no, it's my ball, especially at waffle level. Maybe not from a handball, calling a mark, but sometimes you see that happen where they go, actually can't make the decision. We're going to, and they change their mind. But
it's pouring rain. It's loud. And it's like, you know what I likened it to, Blackie? And not that I'm an umpire, but I've watched a bucket load of football. You know what I likened the moment to? Was, when you're looking for something and you're in a frazzle and your head's all over the shop and you're going all around your house looking for something and it's in
right
your hand.
In front of you.
It's in your hand or it's where it normally is.
What's
and you
that
just
called?
haven't, I don't know, I'm sure
it's the opposite to the red car theory, Jim.
The opposite to it, is it?
It's the red car theory is like if you want to buy a red car, you think about a red car, you're going to see way more red cars, right? Because that's what you're thinking about. But it's the opposite of that. It's like when you're looking for the tomato sauce in the cupboard or the fridge, whichever one you're looking for, and it's right in front of you.
We might have to poll that. Yeah, but I actually that's what I likened it to. Yeah. Was he's just the obvious thing to do was what you said, stop everything and just reset, and he just went 50. And I don't think there's a football fan listening to our pod or watching that game who would go, oh, he's done the right thing there. He's completely done the wrong thing. And that's okay because our game is really hard to umpire. We just hope like hell that doesn't happen again, especially in a bigger game where it's a knockout game.
Where it matters.
A qualifying final or a prelim final.
Yeah.
Hey, 100 games for my boy Naz Wanganeen Miller on Thursday night, alongside his good mate and friend of the show, Brad Hill. Game 100. Hilly gets closer to game 300. The Saints take on the Cats down in Geelong, Blackie. Haven't won there in 27 years. Can they win the Saints?
Haven't
Cameron.
the boys been feasting?
Hilly's been having
Hilly's
a
had
fill.
95
an
in 2 weeks.
Old-fashioned fill.
That is, we haven't seen numbers like that from Bradley in a long time.
He'll be very happy.
Can
they win the Saints?
You know what, Jim? And you'll be happy because I quite often bag them out and don't get on the back of the Saints wagon, but I'm going to back them in. Are they slowly starting to figure some things out? Maybe just a little bit. I'm gonna give them. And Geelong have been pretty ordinary. Who have you got? I'll go Saints.
Who do you think I'm going to say?
Geelong.
I'm gonna back my Saints. They're building nicely. It's taken a long time, but they're building nicely.
70 years, is it? They've been building?
Longer. Not quite that long, but nearly. Sydney and Adelaide is the Friday night game, Blackie, in Sydney. This will be a good game too. Second versus fifth.
I don't think Sydney were overly good last week either.
Good for a half.
Oh, I don't even think they were good in that half, but it'd be hard to go past them at the SCG. Who have you got?
Sydney, for me, bounced back, I think.
Can we skip this one?
We can. Yep.
Freo.
Dockers double the line. Let me say this in case you didn't hear it at the start. Fremantle will be winning this game.
Yes, it's a guarantee.
Yeah. There's no way on earth that they lose this game.
No.
Port Adelaide just have too many outs. Too many injuries to key players. And Fremantle are flying.
They're very good at football.
And they're well coached.
Yeah.
A lot of talent. And I'm starting to...
Yeah.
Now I'm starting to get carried away about them.
You are.
Now I'm starting to get carried away.
I want to see you get carried away, Jim.
Well, I'm not a Fremantle person, but I'm excited for Fremantle people. Like Paul Hazelby and like all those players.
Put in the
Peter
hard work.
Bells, all those guys who were there through some treacherous times who might...
Troy Cook.
Nat Fife, played in the grand final.
Sean McManus.
Matthew Pavlich. Anyway.
Leon Woods.
Not getting too carried away.
Luke Parker.
There's a lot of football still to be played.
No, not Luke Parker. What's his name?
Matt Parker?
No,
Matthew Parker?
he plays for South Fremantle.
No, we'll have to cut
You know the park, right? No, we don't have to.
Shane
Parker.
Shane Parker.
There's heaps, mate. All the bloody ones doing the heavy lifting.
Who was your favourite Fremantle player?
From back then?
So you can't pick a current one. I know you had a bit to do with Nat Fife through your 18s journey, didn't you? You could probably say him. But what about older?
Before that, I loved Troy Cook.
Yeah.
And I actually ended up playing a bit of footy against him when he went back to Perth, I think, at the back end of his career.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You played against Troy.
Maybe he was he right at the back end. I'll fact check this while you do that.
You text me and I'll flash it up. I have an obligation to say Hayes, don't I? I've got to say.
I you know what? I actually did love watching Hayes play as well. Reminds me of myself. Both slow. But very good footballers, obviously.
He's going to like that very much.
He was way better than I was.
North Melbourne versus Melbourne.
Melbourne, because he's my guy and he's so good to watch.
They're becoming a team that isn't just making up the numbers. Can this team...
Isn't that crazy?
Can they win a final?
I mean, yeah, they're sixth, so they're going to play...
They're going to play finals.
Yeah, and they're going to play someone who's below them, right? Yeah, they played...
Depends where they finish.
No, they play seventh. Yeah, I think they can.
They technically don't... Technically, they might not play seventh. Well...
You know what I mean?
Wildcard weekend
change
things dramatically. Yes, that's all. That's the point I was going to make. Collingwood Carlton, this will be massive.
This is tough for me because I like them both at the moment.
This will be 80,000 people.
Yeah, it will be.
Collingwood fighting tooth and nail, 8th versus 12th.
I think Collingwood will win. And Sammy's playing, and we love Sam.
Yeah. He got a shout out during the week from St Kilda great Nick Rewalt.
Did he?
Yeah.
You would love that.
That's awesome.
If that makes anyone happy, it makes you happy because Nick Rewalt said something.
Made my heart skip a beat. I hope Sammy saw it too. West Coast and Brisbane. Here. Do we skip this one as well?
I think we can. Yeah, it'll be Brisbane.
It will be Brisbane.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Brisbane will be winning. Richmond and Hawthorn, the Sunday games.
Hawthorn. We could have skipped that one too. I don't know why I thought about it so much.
Hawthorn will be winning. Gold Coast and the Western Bulldogs up at People First Stadium on the Goldie.
The Dogs, just because
they're going like a busted. The Gold Coast.
They don't have enough bathrooms up there for the boys to go to the toilet in.
Well, I reckon we'll leave that. We'll let the heavy hitters discuss that story. The final game of the round is Essendon and GWS.
GWS will win. Essendon are poo, man. And
they're going really...
Jacob Farrow's also our boy, but they're poo. Yeah. You?
GWS win.
Yeah. Just back to Troy Cook. He actually played his last game midway through the year I debuted. So he was there, and I do remember him being there, but I didn't play against him. So I'll take that back.
So you didn't play against him?
No, but he was at Perth in the year that I debuted. So for some reason I've linked the two. I remember watching him play at Perth the year before in 2009. Yeah, sorry. I just had to clear that up because I sound like a moron.
We've got a very special guest waiting for us. Our second guest on Jimmy and Blackie is coming up right now. His name is Connor West.
Get around, Westy.
A West Perth Falcon via the West Coast Eagles Football Club in the mid-season draft. He played some football in the NT. He went back to Scarborough, and now he's back at West Perth. He's done a little bit of everything. As I welcome our man, a friend of the show, a friend off the field, a bloke we absolutely adore and love, Connor West. Hello, Westy. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, boys. Thanks for having me.
It feels like you have played here, there, and everywhere. One of the first questions we got was, why did Westy leave West Perth, go to Scarborough, and come back? Why did you?
Yeah, it's a long story, I guess. But to sum it up briefly, I was probably wasn't enjoying my footy that much at that time, coming off a list. Went back to West Perth, didn't have the year that we had, and just lost a bit of the love for it. When you come off a list, you're coming from like a professional system where you're studying the game. You're going into so much detail around ball movement, roles, contests, and I guess then going back to West Perth, where Waffle's still a professional level, but it's not quite at the same level as AFL, and I probably just struggled to, get back into the flow of how Waffle worked, and and it just probably the pressure, things like that, and I probably just still reflecting back, not probably digesting, getting delisted, probably didn't have enough time to like really reflect on it, and then back into like a semi-professional level where still it's a solid level competition, and then at the end of that year I was just a little bit done and a bit overwhelmed with it all, and just wanted to have a bit of fun.
So now you're back at West Perth. We'll get to your time at West Coast and being taken in the mid-season and all that. But I guess I wanted to ask, you touched on it there, have you ever had a chance to reflect on getting taken in the mid-season draft and actually having a red-hot crack at becoming an AFL player? Because you did it for, I think, 3 seasons. You should be really proud of actually getting there and not giving up. Yeah,
definitely. I think as I've matured a bit and I'm a bit older now, definitely look back on it and it's a massive achievement, and it's something that I'll hold on forever. And as you get a bit older, a little bit wiser, going back to Scarborough, playing up in the NT, back at West Perth, I think all these little experiences it just reminds you of what you actually have done. And probably the last 6 to 12 months, I've done a lot more reflecting and look back, and it makes you enjoy the process and the journey a lot more, thinking back about that.
Do you think the reason, and from what I've seen, a lot of guys who come back from the AFL system, especially younger guys, they tend to they don't hang around in the Waffle that often or that long. Do you think like that plays a bit of a role in that, the seriousness of playing AFL footy and then coming back and Waffle being relatively similar? They might hang around for a couple of years and then disappear. Do you reckon that's got a fair bit to do with it?
Yeah, definitely. I think guys, they come, like I said before, from that professional environment back to another similar environment, not quite there, but it's still such a good environment. And I think that the burnout, you see it a lot now, overtraining, things like that, it just builds up mentally. And I think it just gets to a point where guys just want to enjoy their footy like what they previously to getting drafted, or prior to getting drafted. 18s is a lot different to senior Waffle footy. And you get picked up at such a young age or a mature age, and then you come out the system and it's just like you probably lose a bit of that spark and energy that you had previously.
You found that spark when you went back to Scarborough and had 45 and kicked 2 every week, put it that way.
Oh, not quite that, but my role was a bit different in the Scarves. But shout out to the Scarves crew. Absolutely love that footy club and all the boys, and just everyone down there, such a good club. The culture's amazing, and it's everything I needed probably going back to find that love and just playing footy, just being like a kid again. It's like a lot of it in the Perth Footy League's just all on feel. There's no stats, there is now, but there wasn't when I was there. It was just, you just go out and play. And it was like, it reminded me of just being a kid when you're just running around. There's a game plan, but there's not really a game plan, and you just play. And it's just like, it's just up and down. You just ride the flows of it.
More instinctual.
Yeah, definitely.
You played State 18s.
Yep.
What was the feedback you got from, or did you get any feedback once that had all finished up and you missed out on the draft? And did you use that to catapult you to eventually get taken in the mid-season by the Eagles?
Yeah, definitely. I think I had Sumo as my coach, and I was at that stage, you think you're 18, you're a bit naive. You think you're going to get drafted and you're doing everything right. But looking back, I definitely wasn't up to the standard that some of the other guys were. I guess I was probably an inside-outside. Wasn't quite good enough to be an inside mid, competing for those spots at the time. That was probably just a few skill things, being clean, just working on my size, just like little strengths, like my craft, things like that, to take it to the next level. And I guess, I used that as just motivation to then attack the pre-season and senior footy. And I suppose just those little setbacks, you have a lot of them, especially I feel reflecting on my career. I had a lot of setbacks, and you just build a lot of resilience. And you just get more hungry, and you just like every year, you miss out again. And it's all right, you got to play wing to earn your spot as an inside mid. Like in my first year of senior footy, at the time I didn't like it, but I had to adapt, and so that's like another small resilience piece that you just build, and you just slowly keep building these, resilience techniques or strategies, how to handle it. And I think by the time I did get drafted, I think going through all of that sets you up. And that's why they say, like, you know, as a mature age, you're a little bit more ready.
Have you been able to pass any of that on? So that all that feedback that you kept constantly getting, have you been able to use that to help like the next generation? Because I look at guys like you and guys who have been in the AFL, got there, worked their tail off, and then it feels like it comes and goes so quickly. Have you been able to like pass on all of that adversity to help the guys that are currently going through it, or the next generation of 18s and 17s who are aspiring to become AFL players?
Yeah, definitely. I think spent a little time with Bev, who we all know Kane Bevan, obviously, in the state program. So we were driving down to Coburn and we carpooled. So we're sitting in traffic. It's like an hour and 20 minutes to get there. So we got to know each other pretty well. And obviously just chatting to him, he's such a young, good footballer who's, I got no doubt he'll make it. It's just when. And it's just like, I think I try to use my examples and really reflected on my journey and how it's probably similar, where he's just slowly, you just keep building all these little techniques and strategies, and I think he'll definitely get there, no doubt.
Yeah, I actually was going to ask you about Bev, and just say, sort of ask what the similarities between the two situations were, and you've kind of you've answered it, and I probably 100% agree. He'll get his opportunity, but he'll just have to keep facing the adversity and adding the layers that you did before you got your opportunity. I think that's something that we at West Perth currently probably can do and continue to do more, because a lot of the kids now get to go in and play the role that they want to play straight away, and they don't learn to, you're going to have to bide your time, play on a wing, play half forward, play the doom role, as we call it, the corridor forward, where you just run up and down the corridor for the middle of the ground, defending and stopping the ball from coming inside. There needs to be a little bit more of that happening, and I think you're going to set a lot of players up for success rather than thinking they're going to come in. And you go from maybe having 10 to 15 as an inside mid because you haven't learnt to play anywhere else, to doing what you did. You just come straight in when it's your time. You have 30. I tagged for 2 years before I got to play on a wing and then go inside, and you learn along the way. So,
what did you call it? Like, I want to get Westy to the doom roll. What's this?
Yeah, the doom roll.
Westy played it a lot at West Coast, and then my 4 quarters of fame, I played it for 3 quarters, I think. So,
yeah, and look, it's got the doom roll, and no one wants to play it, but footy's so role driven now, and you have to have guys that play it. And I think obviously my time at West Coast, there was this, they called it the C roll, and it was basically the high half forward that connects with the winger, and you just corridor, no matter where the ball, if there's a stoppage on the other side, you're on that side, you still have to drift back to the corridor. And it was just hard to get a kick, like you're relying on the ball to get switched, and you might get one every now and again, or you rip back to goal and you'll get one out the back. And you get lucky every now and again, but most of the time you're just hovering and you just can't collapse in, you just got to hold, and you're just watching the game of footy. And for me, as like a natural ball getter, at the start it was hard to learn those techniques and where to stand and position yourself, and not just ball watch and hunt the footy. Whereas, obviously at West Coast you just go to town on watching vision, and I was just so keen to learn and play. So I was like willing to play whatever role as long as I got to play. And I was like, look, if it means playing the C role, then I'll play it. And I'll find a way to do it. And I probably didn't do it, as good as what some others might have done, but I felt like I did it to the best I could.
Without notice for both of you, who are the... I know you have a question, Blackie, sorry. But currently, who are the good... Hang on. 2-part question. Does C stand for something that we're not allowed to say, or is it just...
Corridor?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. That's my assumption.
I feel like this has turned into the Tom Mitchell game plan podcast.
Well,
but
we're going okay there.
The second part of the question that I wanted to ask you both, who currently plays the C role well in the AFL? Do you have any examples?
I think Frederick from Freo is a good example of someone who does it and can affect the scoreboard, but I think he's been playing a bit of a different role. But you quite often see him through the corridor, and they're going really well. So there's a one for you. But all I was going to say before you answer that question, Westy, is it's basically your job to run away from the footy for those who are listening at home who maybe don't quite understand what we're talking about covering the corridor. Yeah. You've just got to be away from the footy and guard some grass.
It doesn't
Pretty
sound
much.
very
It's
fun
not
to
fun.
me,
No, it's
Westy.
not fun, but you create space for your other forwards, and then they
Yeah.
they get looks, and as long as you like internally like you respect the role and you value it as a team, I think you can get reward from that. But yeah, from the outside looking in, especially fans and family, they're like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you running away from the ball? Or why are you go and get it?" And it's like, oh, there's a lot more to it than you think.
I thought C stood for something else, but I'm glad you cleared it up and that it's corridor.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty simple, Jim. But what C word could it be?
It doesn't matter.
No? Okay. Well, no worries. I had my best game.
Crap. Let's go with crap.
Crap role. Yeah, I had my best game this year, my best 9-touch game ever this year playing that role. So that's that's about how much fun you have when you're playing it. Put it that way. But it needs to be done if you want to win. Put it. That's it. Now, we spoke about you getting back to Scarborough.
Yep.
I briefly wanted to touch on the conversation that you had when you found out that you were no longer needed at the West Coast Footy Club. Maybe where you were and what you were doing and how you looked when that happened. That phone call came.
Yeah, definitely. This is a bit of a funny story. Luckily for me, I feel like I did my MCL around 14, so that year, and that was a 10-week injury, and I was playing pretty well up at that stage. But yeah, when I did it, I just had this deep feeling that I knew my time was probably up. Living off 1-year contracts. Again, like you build those resilience strategies, and you're constantly not worrying about like what you're going to do in the future. But I feel like at that point, I just knew that this is probably me.
You kind of have to,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. And it's just part of being a rookie pick or a fringe player. You don't get the luxury of long-term deals, and you're constantly living and dying by the sword, I guess. But yeah, so I had a 10-week injury. And then, that took me to the end of the year. Got back fully fit, did all my rehab and everything like that. But, I guess not playing footy at that time of the year is just, especially when you're out of contract, it just doesn't help your case. I guess end of the season rolls around. Obviously, we weren't going well. I don't even know what we finished that year, but there was a lot of guys out of contract. And I remember going in, I think it was like the week after the season. So, like, you're in pretty quick. And normally there's, like, 3 days they'll do their interviews for the list. And, like, the first day, if you get called or if that's your time slot, you're normally on the outer. And there was a few of us in there. And I remember going in and, as you probably heard from Gilbs, like you go in, there's your mentor coach, there's like your line coach, Simo, and general manager. Everyone's in there and they basically just, they keep them pretty short and sharp and they're just like straight to the point. And I got told, I was a 50-50, which they probably tell that to everyone. They're like, oh, just to keep you maybe a little bit of hope. But I was already, by this stage, I was already not checked out, but I knew what was coming. I was more prepared than not prepared. Let's just say that. And so we had footy trip anyway on the Wednesday, and this was on a Monday. So I was like, last hurrah anyway, go to footy trip, enjoy my time with the lads. 50-50, if they don't recruit anyone, maybe I'll get a sniff. But worst case, I'll still have a good time on footy trip. Anyway, we go to footy trip, and then we have a good couple of days there. And then I had a trip booked after, and I was in Sumbawa, which is like remote Indo, a bit of a surf trip with a few of the boys. And so we went over there for an extra 2.5 weeks. And we get like a SMS or WhatsApp because we didn't have like 3G or we had to use Wi-Fi when we were there.
Yep.
So like it was like, hey, can you catch up? We want to have another chat. And so at this point we knew, I was with Greg Clark actually at the time and he was in a similar boat and he got the same message and it was like, can we all chat? So I was like, yep. That's fine. We're away though. We can't come in. Like we're in Sumbawa. Like we can't just fly back. It's a bit of a mission to get there anyway. So they were like, oh, I don't know. There must have been like a deadline for the club too when they had to let us know. So then we were like, we can do it on this day. So here we are in Sumbawa, like on this beach, like going to this resort, and it's not like a luxury resort. It's in some like remote Indo. So it's like got Wi-Fi. We're connecting to the Wi-Fi.
With a blue Ethernet cable to your phone.
Pretty much. And we're literally on the beach and there's like blue water, palm trees behind us. Like I had no shirt on. I had like a big beard.
Beard
At
yes.
the stage. So
We'll
part of my rehab journey was like I wanted to grow a beard just for the whole 14 weeks or whatever it was. And it actually thickened right up and it got to a pretty good stage. But anyway, like here we are on Skype to like, the head coach, Simo, general manager, and it's like blurry as. No shirt, palm trees in the background, on the beach. massive beard, and yeah, that's how I got told that I wasn't needed for that year and my time was up. But yeah, it was a bit of a funny one.
Looking like Tom Hanks from Castaway.
Yeah,
Genuine,
I was gonna,
yeah, genuine.
Wilson.
Oh, mate.
West.
He's run some horror, not horror.
yeah,
I actually rate him because I've done it too. But you've had some
some
horrendous hairdos and beards and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
you've
yeah.
had everything. So
I've had a few shockers. That's
you've
for sure.
seen him on the podcast cover.
Yep.
Did you get longer than Gilbs told us that he got 90 seconds? How long did the call go for?
Oh, mine would have been a couple minutes. It was probably the most in depth and like good chat I've had with Simo too. It was great. I actually thought it was good. He
He's gonna give you another
you
contract.
never really got to talk to him that much, and if it was about your role or what you're doing that week. Whereas this was a bit more of a just, Simo to me in a casual. Obviously, your dream's over, but I don't know. It was good. I actually took a lot from it, and it was actually good to get that like one-on-one with him before it all ended. And I just kind of wish that we might have had that chat a bit earlier on.
He's a brilliant footy mind doing some amazing things in the media. Adam Simpson, obviously working at Carlton, and he has told the media a few times that he brought the footy trip back as part of his role at West Coast. Where was the trip?
We're in Bali, so yeah, nice and close.
We've gone to the end, but I just want to go back to the mid-season draft, the night you got taken.
Yep.
Talk us through the 24, 48 hours, the emotion, being with your family. Obviously, your dad in his own right was a hell of a footballer. What was it all like? Like, how did you feel, and who was in the room, and what did you do?
Yeah, it all happened pretty quick. Like, for me, I was playing pretty good footy that year. I was really consistent. I was playing inside mid, and probably just, you get to a point at Waffle where I feel like it just clicks, and you know that what you can bring to the team, and you probably know your strengths. And I think that year it just really clicked early for me. And I guess there was no real big like write-ups or media pump-ups or anything like that. I had no idea like I was even in contention until 2 weeks before. And I was at work and basically I was at Nudeco, so shout out to Nudeco. Actually, great company, worked there. And anyway, so I used to do like this spray painting concrete sinks, and had like headphones on, listening to music.
I'm glad
all
you
day.
clarified what that was.
Yeah, we can put it in the show notes.
Nudeco?
Nudeco, concrete sinks.
But it's okay.
So I was just working there while I was just starting to become a teacher, and wasn't really on my phone all day, but I had like a missed call, and it kept like calling over and over. Then eventually I got a voicemail, and it was I can't remember who it was, but there was like hey, this is so-and-so from West Coast. Would like to catch up. Let us know when you're free. So I called her back because I was like, shit, like, holy, like, here we are.
That's
and
cool.
Literally. And then called her back, and we organised the time. I had no idea when the mid-season draft was. So this was on the Friday, and I had like uni that next week, and it was on the Wednesday. And I didn't realise it was on the Wednesday. I just thought it was, so I said next Friday or Thursday, and they were like, oh, mid-season's actually next Wednesday. Can we do it before? And I was like, oh, I can't really Monday or Tuesday. Wednesday's my only day. And they're like, caught up with them literally after work on the Wednesday at like 3:00 at West Coast.
Wow.
So it was real last minute. The draft was at
So
maybe
that's less than
5:30,
less than 2 or 3 hours out from the mid-season.
So in my head, I was like, and in the paper at the time, there was a big write-up on a few other Waffle players who might go. And I was probably just more of a smoky. No one probably even knew about it. And I caught up with them, and I swear they didn't even ask me anything about footy. It was more just about my old man, my granddad, and just a bit of the family stuff, and how they were all going. And it wasn't like you hear all these draft stories about the recruiters asking all these like crazy questions.
I was going to ask you about that.
I was like, I didn't get any of that. Like, it was more real casual approach. And basically that was it. Yeah. And then went home. And we had training the night before too. And I remember obviously, I think Sammy Roth might have had a little inkling, or someone might have mentioned it to him, and he was sort of like asking me about the mid-season, and I was just like, I just try to keep it on the DL. And then, Wednesday night comes around, had it on the laptop and just at home. I can't remember if I told mum and dad. I think I told them, and that was probably it. Like, I kept it real quiet, just because you don't want to, you don't want to go around telling everyone and it doesn't happen. Like, I feel like that can burn you out as well.
So had they guaranteed they were going to take you?
No. So they didn't even say that. Sorry. Yeah, they said, look, we're not sure what we're doing yet. We've had a few injuries in the past couple of weeks, so they've had to change their list quite quickly. And I think Tim Kelly at that stage had done something. Well, not Tim Kelly. So there was a mid that went out anyway, and so they needed a mid, and basically that's what they said. They were chasing like an inside mid, and I guess they said, look, I think they said there was 3 other guys they were looking at. So it was between me and 3 other guys. And if it goes my way, it goes my way. That was all I sort of walked out knowing. And then anyway, I had it up on the laptop that night, and it sort of lagged out when it got to like pick 1, 2, all the way up to I think it was probably like the last pick or second last pick, and it just glitched out. And then I just knew like my phone just started like it was like vibrating just non-stop. And I couldn't see if I actually had been picked, like if I was picked or not. But my phone just started blowing up, like just vibrating. So then I was like, it probably just clicked then. But you sort of go into shock, not shock. You just like, yeah, I don't know how to describe it. It was a cool feeling. And then phone number rang straight away, and it was Drew Petrie. So I like picked it up, and he was like, "Hey mate, welcome to the club. I'm just going to like speak to you quickly before you probably got a million messages." But he's like, "Look, we'll come over later. What I need you to do though is you need to go to Freo to get this COVID test done, so then you can come to training tomorrow." So like at 9 o'clock at night, I was driving down to somewhere South Perth, like Freo ways, just to get this. Like there was this one place that was open to get this swab to show that I didn't have COVID. So then the next day that I could actually go to main training. So that was pretty funny.
2 things. First thing, based on my extensive research, it was probably Elliot Yeo and his injury history. I'm going to assume it's him. And
Poor Yoey.
Yeah, that's the only reason I say it. And the second one was, what year was that? Was that the big COVID year?
It was 2021. So 2020 was the big COVID year.
Yeah.
2021 was like we were just coming out of it, but there were still lockdowns and teams were still having to, all of a sudden, there'd be an outburst.
It was being treated differently in Western Australia,
correct,
compared to basically anywhere, because we try to keep it out for so long.
And then in 2022 was when all the West Coast boys decided to go out and party at Hippie and get me a game. New beauty.
True.
We might have to let some of them tell that story because I'll probably get in trouble. Was it a story? Wasn't it a story? Should they have been in trouble?
Some good photos come out of it. I know that much.
Doesn't that story go that I know they got in trouble, and I know the media went with it, and I know there's so many different layers to it. Just side piece here, but weren't the Richmond players were there? Weren't they?
They were. I believe so. And we can ask Josh Rotham too. We'll have to squeeze him.
I want to get that story.
Yeah.
From Josh.
I'll let him tell that.
About how
he was front and center of that photo. And
him and
that was funny as.
And Jacko Nelson.
Yeah.
Jackson
I think you could see Bakes like down the front corner, but that just got brushed over. Like, Richmond were allowed to go out or something, so it was.
And they were probably going well too.
And I think they beat us by like 100 the night before. So
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Were you playing in that game?
I played. Yep.
I'm glad you brought this up because I did see a photo of you walking through an airport still wearing a mask. So. When you've got to the club, like you just said, you've had Drew Petrie's rung you, great man. Hey, mate, go down, get this jab, and you can come to training tomorrow, assuming you're not unwell.
Yep.
What was that all like being? So your life's just turned on its head.
Yeah.
You've gone from being a West Perth player, you're now a West Coast player, trying to get a game, and you're up-to-date vaccine, walking through airports, making sure that you and your teammates are trying not to get sick, or I should say, get COVID-19.
Yep.
And here's you walking through the airport looking like Bane with the big mask on.
Yeah.
It must have been, have you reflected on like how wild that was?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like you said, it was crazy. Like going from, working full time, juggling uni, you're flat out trying to balance waffle footy to then, you can let all that go and just purely focus on your footy. Was just a massive change up in your life, which was great. Like I loved it, and you wouldn't change a thing. But yeah, obviously rolling into main training the next day, even just kicking the Sharons, like you're going from Burleys to Sharons, and I love the Sharon after kicking them for a couple of years. They're just those little things, and then you're running out alongside like Yoey we spoke about before. You got Nick Nat hitting it to you in the ruck, and we're doing ruck craft. Like you just it's from 48 hours ago. I was just down at West Perth, nothing wrong with that, but. Massive change, and it was great. And then the COVID element as well. I think my second week we had to go ISO in Melbourne because there was a little outbreak in Perth. Oh, it might have been week 3 or week 4, but it was real early on. So then we're in Melbourne for a week, just living there. So it was just like, yeah, you just didn't really know what was coming. But for me, I was just stoked to be there. Any new experience, I was just like, I was still young enough to just love it. And that was fun. So,
given how crazy it was, who were the guys who took you under their wing? Who were the ones that you were able to have combos with and lean on, just so you could get up to speed as quickly as you could, so you could play? Which guys? Because there's some guys at the club at this point in time when you're there who they're going to be West Coast Hall of Famers. Luke Shuey, Mick Natanui, Josh Kennedy.
Yeah, I think like obviously all your leaders in the club are really good. Like those boys you said.
I didn't even mention Shannon Hearn.
Yeah, you got like Bunga. Bunga was great. Bunga taught me heaps about just craft before training, and we used to do these like fun handball games, and it was so competitive. And it's just cool seeing someone like him who was so experienced and at the end of his career still probably one of the first ones out doing handball craft and touch before training. So yeah, you learn a lot off him. Boots, like Luke Shuey, just like he's probably so talented, like just the stuff he can do, but the more like the way he made you feel and like the culture that they had as a leadership group was so good for someone like me coming in fresh. And then I suppose just who you surround yourself. Like I was locker buddies with TB and Rothy, so obviously knew Rothy, which helped. So that was handy. But then even TB, like he was such a like you just get to know him, you see him every day, and just the way his views on life and. I learned so much off him individually, and it was great.
Now, he would fit your personality perfectly, I think, because you're a pretty laid-back character. I'm sure when you got drafted, you were driving the van and wearing your baggies, your surfy. The surfing outlook on life, and TB, as I know a lot of people are aware of, he's a pretty different kind of thinker and different human being and does things a little bit differently. Yeah, definitely. It's probably not a bad person for you to kind of bond quite well with, and then having a relationship with Rothy's pretty important too.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you don't know Westy, and he fits TB's demographic pretty well, I think.
Would have got on very well. And you said it well. Yeah,
see some of the kits that Westy rocks up in, mate. You would think. He's just got back from Zimbabwe.
I'm glad you brought this up actually, because you must have been the only person or the only bloke in the AFL that was driving around in a Mitsubishi Star Wagon. Yeah, that's the car you had?
Yeah, it was a L300.
Have you still got it?
Forward drive? Nah, I got rid of it. I didn't want to let go of it, but. Yeah, I had to. It was due for me to pass it over to the next person.
You're rocking a big.
But I loved it. It was such a good car. Like you could take a full driving. They were so rare, and I do like my old cars. I don't know what it is. I think just there's something about them. So I've always just had a soft spot for older cars, and that was just when I saw it. I was only young when I got it, but yeah, I was still rocking it.
We're not talking older car. What are you driving now?
I've got an old Land Cruiser, so probably the same age as that.
Oh, is it the same age? Gee, it looks good for
96. Yeah, 96. Okay. So.
What were you driving that Star Wagon to and from the club?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
were you? Or if I'd try and always carpool with like one of the boys that might have had like a Prado, or like Langers was up the road, so I'd always try and jump in with him. So I'd always carpool if someone was around, or I'd drive that. But with that thing, because it was so high off the ground, like I had roof racks and max tracks off the side. There's a funny story. Underground at West Coast, you never used to park in there if you were a first or 4 year. Right. You could only park in there if it was like, I don't know, on like a Saturday, and the 4+ years weren't on track. Anyway, so it must have been the young boys in for this session on a Saturday morning. Anyway, I've gone down under, and there was like, it's split up into like 2 sections, and there's a little garage in the middle that separates the second section. And there was no parks, and I've just come down, not quick, but going fairly quick, straight into the second part, not knowing that the garage door was at a lower height. And I've taken out the garage door.
Oh, dear.
I've burst my water drum on the car. Essentially, I've broke the garage door. And I'm panicking. I didn't want to be late, but I'm like, what do I do? And no one's really at the club at this.
Who'd you tell about
Saturday.
that?
So I shout out to Teddy, who was the property manager. And he was such a king. And anyway, I just ended up telling him, I was like, mate, I've got to go to this meeting. I've got to go training. I've just probably busted the door. I've parked. There's water everywhere because my tank had broken and it was gone everywhere. And then anyway, I think it just got swept under. I didn't hear much. I think I got a little bit of a slap on the wrist for not telling the property manager, not the property manager, whoever, I can't remember who it was at the time, but I ended up telling Teddy, but I think Teddy might have left it for a little while, and then obviously it was more for just an emergency, like fire emergency. They needs to be working, and
someone's going to put the door down and it hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah,
so Teddy, shout out Teddy, but also Teddy.
Oh yeah, but I remember like that, just that stress of getting in the elevator, going up, and like didn't know what to do. I was like worried that like, you know, when you just don't want to tell someone, you want to tell someone, and luckily there was probably just an off day, and there was only not so many people in, but far out. I just remember the stress.
I've got one more about your time in the AFL. I know it was a while ago, but you've already spoke about it, and you should be super proud of yourself. How did you feel? You know, you make your debut, or you're making your debut, and the emotions that come with actually reaching your childhood dream, kicking a goal in the AFL, running around out there, like, you know, it's something that every kid dreams of. What was that actually like to fulfill that for you, Westy? Yeah,
it's unbelievable. Like when you're out there and it's like a big crowd and, you know, even if you kick a goal, you lay a tackle, just those little moments, it's just like I just say it's like you're in your flow state, you know, you're just like purely in the moment, and it's just one of the best feelings you ever have, and it's hard to really get that feeling again. But it's hard to sort of break down and actually explain it, because you're purely just in the moment enjoying it, and it's like it's almost like you're not time travel, but you know when you're just so locked, you're just so focused in on something, and it's just like that. And I think just the emotional roller coaster of it is, I probably butchered how to explain that, but
it makes sense.
It's kind of hard to explain. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just one of those things where like, I relate it back to like the flow state. I don't know if you've heard about that, but it's pretty similar to that when you just, I don't know.
Things are just happening.
Yeah.
Did you struggle getting back into everyday life? You obviously said you struggled with the footy aspect stuff, but I don't know if anyone's seen the Shaquille O'Neal documentary. Right at the end of it, he talks about going from being playing professional sport, heaps of people screaming your name, to like nothing. And you would have played some games where you played in front of large crowds. And he obviously found that DJing, for anyone who likes DJ Diesel. But that's how he reckons he found the balance of, feeling like he was involved in something bigger than himself, like playing sport. Is there anything like that for you? Or did you kind of just balance it by work and refinding your love for footy kind of thing like you mentioned before?
Yeah, I think thinking back to my time, I think because, like I said before, I never felt like I was part of the furniture long term. Like I was always fighting for my career every year, 1 year deals. And it kind of sounds bad to say, but I felt like I was just always having to put my best foot forward no matter what it was. So you never really got that feeling of you're
comfortable.
Yeah, I'm comfortable. I'm going to be here for the next 5 years. Because you're always just you're fighting for your spot. I feel like I was still doing uni while I was playing. I was trying to fit in. If I could fit in 2 more units, I was doing it, because I was if I come out of the system at the end of the year, it's shit, I have to be working full time. I've got a mortgage to pay. I've got to expend. There was probably more, outside pressure on if it didn't go my way. And I think, that's probably can't relate to that as much.
Probably helped then that you didn't have to. Yeah. You had to have that feeling of I need external pressure because it may not work.
100%. Yeah. Okay. Definitely. Yeah.
No, I think you did a pretty good job of trying. That's why I asked, because I'm genuinely I'm in awe of when Blackie played. I remember watching that and just thinking how proud I was of him, how proud I was of you when I was getting to watch you run around. It must be an unexplainable feeling that goes through your body.
Yeah, Blackie can probably explain it maybe better than me. You're a bit more older and you've experienced a lot.
Yeah, so we haven't done the Aaron Black COVID episode yet.
We haven't done the COVID pod yet, but that'll be on its way.
Come. Yeah, that feeling it's hard to explain. I think
yeah, and when I played, we played in front of 14,500 people, and I played in front of more 10 times in WA, so it wasn't
And you're trying to roll North Melbourne on the road
with 6 listed players.
Some blokes have come off the road.
Out of the elevator.
Incredible. Literally, was that Deck Mountford?
Deck Mountford, yeah. Dermot Burden saying, "Mate, you're supposed to be on the ground." Anyway, we'll save that one.
By definition, you're not a father-son. But, your dad did play at West Coast, and he was a star of the waffle in his own right. What was that like for you in the sense of being able to follow in his footsteps? Your relationship with him and the conversations that you would have had with him while you were in it would have just been I'm doing what you did. That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, I think definitely, like I said before, as I've gotten a bit older, you reflect back and it's like, it's actually it's a pretty special moment, you know, to be able to share something with the old man. And you realise probably how hard it is to get there, and the fact that he did it and now I've done it. It's it's one of those bonds that we'll probably have now forever, even though we weren't superstars or we didn't play 100 games, but we still played for the club. And it was special. I remember my first game on the Thursday. They had obviously they introduced and say it and blah blah blah, and then we were doing the team. We sit around the circle, and then just before that they had his highlights up, just of my old man playing back in the day. So that was pretty cool seeing that. But yeah, I think it's just something that you'll hold on forever, and something as we get older we can have a beer over and actually chat about it probably a bit more. But yeah,
Who'll have the better highlight tape? You or your old boy?
Oh, yeah, I think
based on that one that you saw.
Yeah, I think I definitely probably been looked after in terms of the way technology is now with TikTok, and there was some video floating around when I was on prac that I reckon it was probably one of the kids had made some TikTok of my highlights again, and there's not many, but it's that started going around and all the kids are frothing out on it, and
you've got your burner accounts reposting it, mate. Don't lie. That's what I do.
But so I'm probably lucked out there, but he probably kicked more goals than me, I think. But I got him covered in games. So
was there ever a moment when you're in the league, Westy, where I know you talked about the C roll before that you blokes banged on about the corridor roll,
the crap one?
Was it the crab one? Definitely. Was there ever a moment, or was there an opponent where you've gone out there, you're in the game, and you're standing next to somebody where you were just like, holy shit, this is happening, or someone you really idolised who was playing on the other team where you had to, hang on a minute, I'm in this game and I need to switch on. Was there ever a moment like that? Because you were in it for 3 years.
Yeah, no, definitely. There was plenty. I think my first game, I was I lined up on Rory Sloane,
that's cool.
Which was, you're just holy crap, he was a gun, and I think that first initial, when I was on him for just even it was a split sec, it was the difference in his the running capacity is crazy. He's he probably wasn't quick, and I didn't think he was quick, but just the way he covered the ground and how fit he was, and just the way he can hold that top end speed was crazy. That was probably my first real initial welcome to the AFL. This is the standard, which was really cool. And then I think I guess 2 weeks later we played Collingwood at the G, and I think we're getting rolled after half time, and Simo was like, mate, just go play on for the last 2 quarters. He was like, go play on side bottom for the 3rd quarter, and then the last quarter go play on DeGoey. Just go follow him. So here I am just
you were
genuine
him.
And side bottom at that stage just probably looked at me, and I remember he just kind of laughed, and he was like, mate, what are you doing? I was like, I just got told to follow you around, and he kind of just laughed, and they were dominating, and he wasn't a dickhead or anything like that. He was kind of he had a few jokes and would talk to me while I was doing it. But just seeing the level that they were at in terms of the game knowledge, game sense, where to run, their running patterns, it's crazy. They're so talented, and just the skills, things like that, which was pretty cool. But also I'm trying to do my job, and then DeGoey, who's completely different, so powerful. So that was pretty cool.
The final one from me on West Coast, because I was going through your AFL tables, 28 games. I've gone through them. You're finally finding some form. You're playing in Brisbane at the Gabba, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
You're going really well. And on AFL tables, you got the little arrow next to your name. You've been subbed out. What happened?
Yeah, so I had a little abductor strain. I remember that time. Around the COVID time, we had a few top-up players playing, but we had the pressure. We needed guys playing. So the plan was to play me... I can't remember exactly however many minutes, but it was just to get through as much as I could, and then just to get subbed off. So then I was right for the next week to just manage it better. But like I said, I think that game, that was probably the first game where it probably clicked for most of the game, where I felt like I had a fair bit of the ball. I was playing purely inside mid that week because we had, I think, a lot of injuries, and no one was more available. So I got the call up, which was great. And I was like, finally,
it's a good way to get picked.
Yeah, finally I can. Yes. I can actually play a full game in there and show a bit what I've got. We're still getting pumped, I think, by 70-odd points. But I think the first half we were pretty competitive. It was a little bit wet. And then, I got the old tap on the shoulder at 3/4 time. And in my head at that stage, I was like, when you just know you're going all right, you've had a bit of the ball. And I felt and I was spewing. I didn't want to go off, but I had to. And I guess if I wanted to play, you can't really question it. But
Was that the red vest? Or did they ditch
Red was, green. Yeah, green was the one who was sitting off it, and
then
was
red,
when you come off.
the dreaded red vest?
Yep.
Wow,
So,
Westy just spoke about having heaps of the footy. I forgot what that feels like. I don't really get to touch it anymore, mate. So that's my only.
Booted you out.
Yeah, well, no,
Sort
no, I've long gone.
Yeah.
Spent 5 years playing
had
forward.
plenty of it though. That's the truth, mate.
Yeah, when Westy was talking about being on the outside, that was because me and Nelly were on the inside,
Yeah.
and he wasn't allowed in there
Was
yet.
allowed in.
That's it. That's it.
We spoke about West Perth, we spoke about West Coast, but what about your time, Westy, playing up in the NT? Seeing some of the vision that's come back from your time up there, why did you want to do it, and what was the whole experience like?
Yeah, like we touched on before, finding that enjoyment, and it was always something my old man wanted to do, and something that I eventually wanted to do, and it just it looks like a lot of fun, and yeah, St. Mary's hit me up. Shout out to a great club, and yeah, so obviously moved up there, just like not really knowing too much, hadn't heard too many WA boys going up there. A lot of East Coast boys obviously do it as their pre-season, and yeah, just happened to go to the club that is the most successful club in Australia, I think. They've won 35 flags out of 70 odd years. So super successful. You get there and they've got like the Long family, the Rioli family, like just legends all like up on the walls. They've got like flags everywhere in their clubhouse. And it was a really, I guess, just seeing a team that just knows how to win. And it was just cool being a part of that. Obviously not playing at West Coast and then not being very successful. It was cool to go through, cool to get back into that. And I think that was part of the reason and the journey of finding that love for it again. And the footy up there is just, it's fun. It's just a different style. It's very quick. It's ping pong. There's key position players, but they're not very key. It's still great quality. Like I think people talk down on it and then they go up there and they're like, it kind of slaps them in the face a bit because there's some quality players rolling around. And you've got to be really skillful. It's most of the time it's dewy or wet. But the skills are really good still. And it's just good fun. Like, you're just similar to like, there's not a lot of game plan and structure, but it's still a state league. So you're playing on the TIO, which is one of the best grounds in Australia, in my opinion. Like they look after that really well. Yeah.
Willie Rioli was your teammate at West Coast?
Yep.
For a little bit?
Yep.
And he's still playing up there having a kick somewhere? That would have been a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, he played at Tiwi Bombers, who, some of the talent they've got there is unbelievable. Like those boys coming over from Tiwi and they're doing some freakish things. Like they're super talented and they're building something really nice. I think they're going to be like they struggled to play finals for a few years and they've now just started to like each year they're getting better and better. And the 2 years I've played, I think we've beaten them once and they've beaten us 3 times because it's so hard to play against them because they're so talented. It's crazy.
And mate, so that's really cool. Covered heaps of the West Coast journey and the resilience that it takes in an environment where you're not guaranteed a contract every year is awesome. You said you were studying to be a teacher during that time.
Yep.
Are you finished? You don't need to say where you're teaching, obviously, but what people might not know about you is the subject that you do teach, which is probably a little bit outside the realms of maybe footballer knowledge or expertise, I would say.
Definitely. Yeah, no. So I'll finish at the end of this year. I've finally done my final prac, and as you know, like there's a bit of a process with that. But yeah, finally got that done. I'm doing a bit of teaching at the moment, which is good. So, as a student, you can still, once you're a certain way through your degree, you can start teaching. So I've been doing that, which is great, loving it. And then, on my minor subject, I do visual art. So it's a little bit different. Everyone always, like, they might lift an eyebrow. I'll be like, oh, what the hell? Like, visual art, they're not expecting it.
I did. I thought, it's interesting.
Yeah. I suppose just going through school and growing up, I used to just love drawing, painting, just anything like creative. I was always just drawn to it. And I did it through high school. And I guess when it came to picking my subjects of like what would I want to teach, obviously HB was my main subject, but in my mind I was like, oh, I'll do something that I enjoy. And I think, doing something like that, you're only going to teach better. You're actually passionate about it or you enjoy it. So you actually enjoy going to work then. So that was my main reason behind it. I wouldn't say I'm an artist or anything like that. I'm still learning all the craft and the terminology around because, going to some of these like lectures and some of these units, it's it can get pretty artsy, the term, as you'd probably know, and there's a few, like interesting words, and it can get real detailed. But I'm just still, just trying to learn what I can take from it and add it to teaching.
Do you have a vision for where you could potentially take that, like in 5 or 10 years' time?
Oh, I'd love to do it more like on the side. Like I think it's something, instead of just going on your phone, it's like how can I get back into my painting and even ceramics. Like I love doing my like clay work, like ceramic. That's so fun. So if I could one day have a little studio out the back or something where I can just you go and switch off for a couple of hours, and whether it's painting something or drawing or making some ceramic like coffee cups or could be anything. That's sort of probably the vision. That's probably more long term.
It's a good segue, coffee cups,
Yeah.
into your little side hustle.
Yep.
You've got a fair bit going on, mate.
Yeah, well, this is you are doing everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah.
You've segued nicely for us, but we've got some Out of Rhythm coffee cups here, and you started Out of Rhythm with your brother-in-law,
Yep.
I believe. And Out of Rhythm
Shout out
is
to
a
Connell.
coffee shop. It's Connell Lynch. He also plays at West Perth.
Yep.
Out of Rhythm is where Athletic Institute is, linked to Reckwell as well.
Yep.
Is it Berryman?
Yeah, Berryman Drive.
Berryman Drive in Wangara. So if you're in the area for a coffee, or you want to see Connor West make you a coffee, then head there. Out of Rhythm, it is called.
And they've got
wearing
the-
some of his merchandise as
Yeah.
well.
The hat looks elite.
Hat
and
looks awesome.
And you've got the van at the West Perth Football Club,
Yep.
which is occasionally at the Scarborough home ground,
Yep.
which name has escaped me for the time being.
Smooth Brews. Is that-
No, the name of the ground.
Oh, Millington.
Millington.
There you go.
But Smooth Brews is the name of the van.
Yeah.
We've given him a massive plug.
Huge, huge.
But
And they're looking for someone to join their team as well, I saw
Yeah.
on social media.
Yeah, we've just done a little soft launch just to see if we can just add to the team. We've got a great staff already. But yeah, we're always just trying to find, if we can add someone to help out.
what was the thought process behind this little venture?
Yep. I really got into my coffee during my AFL time. I think you spend a lot of time going to cafes. Yeah, genuine. I used to love going like over east and traveling. You get like a bit of spare time, and I was always on Google Maps, and I just had I was always just hunting down like cool little cafes, and I'd always just read the reviews or look them up on Instagram and see what the vibe was like, and I just enjoyed doing that. And then you're catching up with mates or wherever it was, you'd go, you'd go and grab a coffee at a cafe, and I was like, oh, how sick would it be? Those chats where you're always like, how cool would it be to have a little cafe? And it just stuck with me. And then eventually, finished my time at West Coast, and I was like, oh, it'd be cool to just, before I lock down into teaching, it'd be cool to have like a little side hustle or a little venture on the side. And more so just to learn, and, it's a new experience. I always like, trying new things, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I just like jumping in the deep end, and you sort of just, that's how you learn. And
you needed Connell Lynch to finance it, is the assumption, right?
yeah. I realised how hard it was going to be. And it's only a small business, and I'm chatting to Connell a lot, and he's pretty like-minded in terms of business and things like that. And, he wanted to jump on board, and I was like, perfect, mate. And he'd be a great fit. He's obviously a really intelligent guy and really good with his numbers and just the business and operation side of things, which, he's been massive in that. And, he's obviously sparky too, so he's pretty handy on the tools. And in terms of like,
He was a strategic hire, obviously, a strategic involvement in the business.
Yeah, definitely. And then just knowing Greeny, it just happened to pop up through his Reckwell facility, which is, they're doing really well. And there was a space at the front, and he knew how much I like the coffee with the van, and he thought, well, why wouldn't you? Probably wasn't the perfect timing in terms of when it started. Like, it would be better maybe, down the track a couple of years once I'd already started working and wasn't trying to juggle, study, playing footy. But it was one of those opportunities that you just didn't want to not take up. So we ended up, signing or joining their facility, and had a small portion of at the front of their facility. So if you haven't been there, it's just like a little pop-up window, mainly takeaway, but we're always trying to add to, how we can make the service better, whether it's, more dine-in options and things like that.
Well, Aaron Black will be popping through to grab a coffee.
I've grabbed one from Smooth Brews when I've been down at the footy club before calling a game.
And what was your rating on the coffee?
Oh, the coffee was unbelievable.
Was it?
Yeah. The price was. I raised an eyebrow at it, but when you're in between jobs, you're doing that for most. No, it was honestly fantastic. Had to get some energy for a game I called between you blokes and somebody. It was Subi, actually. Yeah, that's right. It was next door to the Subi coach's box. So, the coffee was terrific.
He's playing footy. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah, I'm not just saying that because he's there. It's really good.
Mate, he's playing footy. While he's playing footy, the van's doing some work for him on the side. And well, you're not open on Saturdays, are you? But are you open?
No, we are. Yeah.
You are
out
open on
rhythm,
Saturdays. They are, and they're open on Saturdays out of rhythm, and he's making some money at the back there.
Yeah, we're trying to.
Who we?
I wouldn't say we're making heaps right now, but yeah, we're trying to build it nicely.
And Connell's looking after all the numbers, so they're going all right.
Pretty much.
They're going all right.
Yeah.
We have some final questions. We have covered off on a few of these, but you would have seen a few of the punters got involved on our social media page at Jimmy and Blackie on Instagram if you have yet to follow. Question here from Adam, what's your go-to coffee from Out of Rhythm? So what's your coffee order then?
I'm normally a long black. I change it up. I have 2 a day. Long black in the morning.
Yep.
And then I like to just treat myself with a small long Mac.
Okay.
So
keep the rig in check.
Yeah,
You like that?
Yours, Blackie?
Mine. I've gone from a long Mac. I've run that for a long time, and I'm just in the straight latte at the moment. Yeah. But
I'm glad we have a guy who does coffee who can answer this because I order from my local cafe a long Mac topped up.
It's a strong latte.
Now it's not a thing, Westy?
Oh, it's a Perth thing.
It's a Perth thing.
Not a
it's
thing.
basically a strong latte, isn't it?
Yeah,
right?
It's essentially it's just a latte with an extra shot, or a flat white with an extra shot.
So should I say a latte with an extra shot, or should I keep saying long Mac topped up?
Well, I think it's where you are. If you're in Perth, I reckon, get around it. Just
don't say it in Melbourne because they'll go, it's just a strong latte, mate.
Yeah. Well, they'll be like, oh, you're from Perth, aren't you?
Yeah, I had it when I was drinking them. That's what I used to say every time. Yeah. Stop saying it.
We have Adam also asked the player you've learnt the most from Westy. So you touched on that. Shannon Hearn, Luke Shuey.
Yeah.
Is there any others that you wanted to throw in?
Oh, there's heaps. But yeah, probably those two. TB, obviously, I mentioned.
Yep.
Oh, who else? Yeah. Elliot Yo was obviously a really good one with his craft.
Any off-field education really tickle your fancy? Anyone? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Probably can't talk about that.
Jay asks, what made you leave Falcons, go to Scarves and come back? You've basically already answered that, so thank you, Jay. Now, this is an interesting question. I don't know if he's talking about you here. Alexander wants to know who is the most gassy person.
Oh, the FUD.
You know. The FUD.
It has to be him.
Yeah?
Obviously, I was up in Darwin for a wedding last week, and we spent a bit of time together. He was pretty much my date. And I've never heard someone fart as much as him. And
that is disgusting.
It was unbelievable. Some funny stories there too.
He might need to go to the doctors and get that checked out. And the last, this is an interesting one. It did catch my attention because this man is, are you sort of business rivals? Lee Kitchen, the great man who's on our list, who I really want to get in here one day to tell his story. He asks, how'd you get so cool? You are one of the coolest blokes that's ever played in the AFL. And
not without the moustache.
Being at West Perth. What's your relationship with Kitch? So, correct me if I'm wrong, but are you rivals? Because he runs his coffee business, or does he supply you with?
So he shout out to Dimatina and Kitch. They're part of my coffee journey as well. If it wasn't for them, they took me in and taught me everything that I knew and needed to know, which was great. And just obviously built a bit of a relationship with Kitch, and he'd be great on here. He's got that many stories, and I think he'd be keen. But I think.
You are
not rivals. I think he's pretty much just taught me everything in terms of the coffee side of things, and it's been great. He's really helped with that.
Has he asked you to pop your head up for any commercial availability? So he filmed some pretty interesting, eye-catching ads lately. His business, so he's doing really well. Kitch, I know you listen, so he'll come on. He'll be great.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Thank you for that recommendation, Westy, and keep them coming because we did have a few. I know someone commented on our Instagram. They really want to hear Josh Rotham's full story. He's welcome anytime. We've said that.
Did we actually get some people send in who they want to listen to? How good was that?
Yep. It might have been a direct message.
I just threw that out there and was hoping we might get a few random people. Yeah, there you go. I didn't think we get any traction off me saying that, but we did.
It's building nicely.
One final one, Westy, I promise. Yep. Best player you've played with, best player you've played against, all levels. So let's start with, because we need to speak about the NT briefly. We will get to that.
Oh yeah.
But let's go. We'll park the NT because I reckon that's probably a bit more probably a bit unfair for you to answer that.
Yep.
But let's start with the waffle. Best player you've played with, and best player you've played against in the waffle.
Geez, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Can't go past Strikey. I think Andrew Strike, on his day, he was unbelievable. The things he could do, just an absolute superstar.
Most people say Strikey.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
Played
just a
at West
freak.
Perth, yeah.
Yeah, and I probably caught him back end of his time, but there was a year, my first year, where he was doing enough just to get up for each game. I don't think I saw him at training or preseason at all. And then, you'd see him on the Thursday, and then he'd just get his body right for game day and just turn it on.
I don't know.
That's the year that against East Freo at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 7.
Still
You
was-
were,
yeah.
I was
Was it 7 or 8? I thought it was
Yeah,
8.
it could
was
be
that
I think it was 8.
I reckon I called that game in my first year commentating waffle.
Yeah.
And was that one of them? That was the game he kicked a bag.
Yeah.
And one of them he kicked from 40 off the deck. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
The
Okay.
crumb from
The
the,
crumb.
centre
He kicked like
bounce.
back-to-back goals within, I think it was like under 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And he crumb one. And I just remember him like crumbing that, kicking it and running towards like all the boys are on the fence and they're leaning over just banging the fence.
Yep.
And he like ran past them all. And I was out in the wing just like,
This is unbelievable.
couldn't get near it, we're dominating and I'm just watching this guy. It was just sick.
It was
like,
freakish.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
I do remember that game because I was doing it for somebody. I can't remember. It feels like a long time ago. What about in the waffle, best player you've played against, Westy?
Oh, jeez. It's hard to go past Horsley. I think early on again, like probably got him in his peak, and he was just the ruthlessness of him and how competitive he was, and just such a strong runner, and just he used to just dominate. And I think he's one that definitely stands out.
Let's go to your time at West Coast then. Best player you played with?
Oh, that one's tough.
That is going to be a tough one.
Oh, I think Nick. It's probably between. Oh, I don't know. It's tough. There's Gov, Nick, or Shuey are probably the three, but Gov probably played the most when I was there. Out of the other two were injured a lot, and but they used to do some freakish things. But I think Gov was just the way he could read the play and just mark the ball was just not many people can do that, and it's pretty special. And just the way he used to position himself, and whether it was tackling, marking, kicking, whatever, he could do it all. So that was definitely he's probably the one.
Best player you've played against, and you've already told the sidey story, so I won't let you. I'm not going to let you say steel side bottom.
Oh, jeez.
There had to be another
that's
moment
hard.
in your 28.
I think there's actually that many.
Even who you stood next to, you didn't even have to spend that
Yeah,
much
I mean,
time.
Dusty. I remember seeing Dusty kick.
That's cool.
Yeah, we're at the G. I was obviously doom roll, and it was a close game. This though, it was actually a good game. But the Richmond faithful, we're all there, and it was, like childhood dream. You're playing on the G, nice day, and I remember just like at the other end, sort of watching him crumb this thing. He fended off someone and snapped one, and just seeing that was sick. I just remember going like, wow. And then the Richmond faithful go bananas, and that put him in front, I think, and then they probably kicked away. But I remember shaking his hand after the game and just being like,
That's a man with some aura.
just proper,
boy.
I remember just being like proper fanboy moment.
Yeah.
But he's probably the one, I think.
That's got me excited.
One of the best Richmond players ever.
I said this a few weeks ago, so if you want to hear it, go back and listen to one of our early episodes. You might have to listen to all of them, but I think he's almost the greatest player of all time. If we're going based on people arguing about Michael Jordan winning 6 rings and only winning 6, not losing, Dusty was norm and won the flag in all of them. Did he not?
Big game player.
Yeah, and we like that. Yeah.
Very
He
good
makes
player.
me happy.
Did
just
you
thinking
grow
about
up
him.
barracking for West Coast?
Yeah, I was early on. I was West Coast, and then I went and watched Buddy and Cyril play against Freo, and I was still young enough where I just fell in love with them because I think they both had a day out, and then jumped on the Hawks bandwagon. I was probably, I was pretty young, and then just started I was mad Hawks and now I'm back on the Hawks bandwagon. So, I still obviously love the Eagles, but I think the Hawks for me.
Well, you got your boy TB there.
Yeah, TV's there now.
So
the Wiz, I love watching the Wiz. I think his forward craft, he's my favourite player. Just watching now, I think the things he can do it's just good to watch. I just love those little crafty things.
He's very special.
So exciting.
He's awesome.
Yeah, just his crumbing work is
freakish.
Yeah, it's so good.
You've been very generous with your time. Thank you, Westy. We're gonna finish off with some rapid fire ones. I've got a couple off the top of my dome. Blackie, I'm sure you've got a couple.
Yeah, we did tick a couple of them off Anyway, with you've played against.
That was from a fan.
That was from a fan.
Yeah,
but that
yeah.
is
So
one
these
of
are from
our
us.
quick fires. That is one of our quick fires. Go on. I'll give you pre-game song. What do you listen to?
Jeez.
If you do anymore.
Yeah, I do. It sort of changes. I go through different flows of the music. I don't know if I could pick
What's
one.
his name? We smashed that one for a while there.
A bit of I love my techno, so
Techno house stuff.
it's not it's slowly growing with the boys at West Perth, but I think early on they were looking at me a bit funny, like why are we listening to this before a game, and then I think the younger boys are slowly, as you know, in the music scene now, it's all the young people are starting to.
Dean Turnley was that song. We smashed that one for ages, didn't we?
Yeah.
Dream holiday destination that you haven't been to?
That's a tough. Probably South America. I'd love to head down the coast there, like Machu Picchu. I want to do some hiking and the Andes Mountains. Sort of go there. Patagonia. I'd love to go down and maybe just do a bit of backpacking or I don't know, ride a horse up a mountain or something. Do something like something different.
Ride an ass up a mountain.
You've asked this before. You asked this to Gilbs, but the death row meal.
Yeah.
Last ever meal.
Yeah, this one's a tough one.
Don't think too hard. I'm going to just to put this into context. I'm taking a large Whopper meal.
Yeah, I was going to say burger.
Extra mayo, extra sauce.
Yeah, I love a good homemade burger, or I don't know if I'm doing Macca's or like something like that, but I'd love just a nice homemade or like a bit of a gourmet burger.
Okay.
Can't go wrong with that. I think. Yeah, with nice salt, like with some nice chips.
Stranded on a desert island, which one of your current or past teammates is there with you? Only one.
Jeez.
And why?
Yep. Like that.
Oh, that's tough. I'll go the big peg. Noah. I think he'd keep it interesting.
I don't know how handy he is, but
but I think we'd have a bit of fun. Hopefully there'll be some animals there or something that we can spend our time talking about. I think Peg would be probably first pick.
Aiden Lynch as a coach or Aiden Lynch as a player?
Oh, he's pretty scary now as a coach. The last month he's not grumpy, but he's I don't know if you've seen. I've noticed him just at training. He's a bit more ruthless now, and I've tried to have a few jokes with him, and he's given me absolutely nothing. Okay. So I'm like, I think he's doing really well as a coach. You know, he's building nicely. He's obviously got the twos boys flying, and we're hearing such good things from those boys about him. So, as a player too, he was pretty handy last year. But I think probably prefer him as a coach now.
Oh, okay, there you go. Oh, good answer.
Favorite movie of all time?
This one probably Batman. Dark Knight Rises, I think.
Oh, the Bane one?
Yeah.
I like that.
No, sorry, not the Bane one. The Joker. Heath Ledger.
Dark
Knight Rises, yeah.
With Heath,
yeah. I think the way he's acting in that is
How many times do you reckon you've seen that?
I'm going to say 8 times.
Yeah, I reckon I've seen it. Probably double that. It's amazing.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. It's one of my favourites. I like that, Westy.
Could be our last question, but we might run with it every week, Jim. But favourite milk variation? Courtesy of Jason Gilby.
Milk variation, jeez.
So it can be mixed with, could be type of like chocolate strawberry. Could be.
Gilbs will probably know this too because he's from these ways. But Dad obviously growing up in Wodonga, dairy farmer, loves his milk, and
fresh out
his little theory on anything is if I get injured or if I do. If I'm sick, Dad has this funny saying of, are you drinking milk still? He thinks milk cures everything.
Fresh out of the tea.
Yeah, but I think Kiwa choc milk was a thing, especially in Wodonga, and it was only a thing in like that region of Victoria. And it's probably the best chocolate milk I've ever had. And we used to bring it home. We'd go over there on a family trip. We used to come back with stash it with freezers and cold blocks in just to get it back. And I can't go wrong. I wonder if Gilbs knows because he's from around those areas.
Oh, he would definitely know.
He'd have to.
He gave us an extensive look into the different milk variations and what he rates very highly. But thank you, mate.
Thank you, Westy. Don't forget, if you came for a coffee, Smooth Brews, Out of Rhythm in Wangara. Smooth Brews is the van, which is at the Scarborough Football Club often and down at the West Perth home games. at the Joondalup home ground. We really appreciate your time. Really proud of you, mate. Doing amazing things. Looking forward to seeing your art down the track, and looking forward to getting you back on Jimmy and Blackie down the future as well. Give that out of rhythm a plug.
Yep.
There you go.
Come down, get a coffee. But no, thanks, boys. I appreciate you getting me on. It was good fun.
Well, if you've made it this far, we did promise that we're going to give out our merch pack. Thanks to Unleash. Westy's going to do it. We've run the randomizer, or Westy's going to run the randomizer.
Yep.
He's got the Unleash cap on. Thank you to Luke Childs and the team at UNLSH Unleash Apparel. Some of the greats. Westy, can you run the randomizer for us?
Yep. And we've
tell
got
us,
the winner here.
You've got the winner
Yep.
on your phone there. Who's won our merch pack thanks to Unleash Apparel?
It is at Shepo_coaches_flags_now. The great man.
Shep.
Scarborough boy
Yep.
too.
Thank you, everyone who entered. We appreciate the giveaway. Thanks to Unleash Apparel. And we'll get that out to Shep as soon as we can. Childsy will probably see him at training. Thank you. Thanks very much, Westy.
No worries, mate. No worries.
Congratulations, Shep, and thank you very much to our man, Connor West. What an absolute legend he is. And well done to Shep, who goes home with the Unleash prize pack. Childsy will be in touch. The owner of Unleash Apparel, worn there by Aaron Black. As we wrap up, nothing really to get off my chest, but I do want to get this off my chest, Blackie.
Something bothered you, Jim?
No, it didn't. No, it hasn't bothered me. I'm excited. I'm excited about it because for the first time in a long time, we have got 4 genuine stars that are coming through the ranks in the NBA. 4 genuine superstars.
I thought we were going somewhere else with that. But you're right.
Caleb Wilson.
Correct.
AJ DeBansa.
Yep.
Boozer, whose first name I'm going to bugger up again.
Carlos. Cam.
Carlos Cam. Son of
Carlos.
And Darren Peterson.
Yeah.
Now, we go back...
you can go a little bit deeper, but
these guys...
pretty good.
I'm adamant on this. Like, we've spoke about it in past episodes. I've got pick one in my fantasy draft. Any of these guys are a win.
I think so.
I think I know who I'm taking. That doesn't matter.
They don't need to know that, the people who are in your fantasy league.
But just park the LeBron stuff for a minute, the NBA transfer, where he's signing. Just park all that for the end of this episode. This is the best draft class since LeBron was drafted alongside, was it Melo, D-Wade and C. Bosh?
Yep. And you could argue that there've been a few better ones potentially. That in the long run we might see some better ones.
Who do you like to watch the most? I know summer league's only been going a short amount of time. Do you have a favourite of these 4? So if you park the fantasy stuff, have any of these guys, because I know how much you love to watch the game more so than me and more so than a lot of people who can't stand the timeouts and the breaks in play and that.
Yeah.
Which one of these guys do you love to watch the most? Because they've got some tricks, these boys.
Yeah, look, I think Booze is a little bit more of a straight bat kind of guy. You know what you're going to get. Scores at all 3 levels. Is not as athletic as the other 3. I think if you watch the other 3 athletically, also score on all 3 levels, but they're athletically more exciting. So you're going to see a little bit more highlight reel stuff from those 3. So I probably don't separate those 3 massively. Like I'm a big guard person as well, so I like Darius Akoff at Sacramento, although he's been shooting terribly. I really like the way he goes about it, which is outside of our 4 picks there. But I don't think you can separate the 4 of them, and you don't lose either way. So I think those sides have done really well. Just
a quick question without notice. Can Darius Akoff Jr. become better than any of those 4 then? Will he have a better career than one of those 4?
Potentially, but Sacramento is also a pie hole for their athletes, and everyone who knows me knows I'm a DeMarcus Cousins fan. I got him tattooed on. Yeah, well, they're horrendous. They're like St Kilda of the NBA.
Here we go. Hang on a minute. Be very careful.
I've got a DeMarcus Cousins tattoo on the back of my leg, and they wasted the original Nikola Jokic type big that can do everything and pass the ball really well. My opinion. Happy to fight anyone over whether they agree or disagree. But I just think they really struggle. Look, they haven't kept De'Aaron Fox. They got rid of Tyrese Halliburton. They get rid of all these guys who end up being pretty handy basketballers, and they don't treat them well when they're there, and they don't get good supporting cast. He's going to get 35 shots a night because they just got rid of DeRozan, who took 25 of them. So you get an 18-year-old kid who gets 30 shots a night. I think he's going to have a hell of fun playing basketball in Sacramento with the license to do whatever the hell he wants. So he could.
Hopefully by next week we've got a team for where LeBron James is going to land. It sounds like it's down to 3. The Warriors,
I saw
the
something.
Cavs, and maybe Philly.
Sorry, mate. I saw something that they were saying that Bron's just at home playing 2K with himself on all the teams, trying to figure out where he best fits. And I was like, I love that. Why wouldn't you? It's actually probably not a bad idea. Give you not a bad idea. How many shots you going to get up when you do a career simulator and get 82 games out? What do you average?
Oh, he wouldn't be doing that, but I think it's hilarious.
I 1,000,000% think he could.
Well, I just don't think he would be doing that.
Okay, well, I think he could.
Well, of course he could.
And he might be.
Good luck on the weekend.
Thanks.
Subiaco round 15 at Leederville Oval.
Thank you, pal. Appreciate it.
I'll be down the road at
Where are
Fremantle.
you calling?
Yep, South and Swans.
That'll be a good game, actually. Swans been okay. And they had a good win last week.
Our man Jermaine Jones, who we bumped into the other weekend.
What a guy. I love JJ. My guy. Looked after me when I was at West Coast for 3 days.
I'm looking forward to watching him play. What is it?
He's a star, mate.
Fourth versus...
We played against him. He went forward and kicked 4.5. He said, it's not that hard forwards. And I when we chatted after, that's what he said to me. I said, mate, I've kicked one in 15 weeks. So it's tough.
That's all we've got time for on episode 7. Thank you to Connor West. Thanks for all the correspondence on social media and your love with our official brand apparel sponsor in Unleashed Apparel. Hopefully, we will we'll do another giveaway down the track. Thanks to Luke Childs.
Unofficial, official?
The team there, officially, I guess, for their support. We've got to get going. We've loved having your company on this episode 7. See you next week.
See ya.